That snow just wouldn't quit. It kept stacking up around my boots, creeping higher against the garage doors, swallowing fences and mailboxes until the whole neighborhood felt erased, like the world had decided to start over in white. I stood there behind my brand-new snowblower, engine humming steady, hands numb inside my gloves, feeling stupidly proud of myself. I'd bought that machine with my holiday bonus, justified it a dozen ways in my head, and in that moment it felt worth every penny. Each pass forward carved a clean path through the drift, and for a few quiet minutes, it felt like I still had some control over my life, even when everything else was frozen solid. Then the storm shifted, and out of that swirling curtain of snow, I saw a shape moving toward me. A silhouette walking straight through the wind with the kind of confidence you only get when you're used to people stepping aside. Cassandra Briggs, HOA president. If you've ever lived under one of those boards, you already know her before I describe her. Always perfectly dressed, always carrying herself like she's late for something important, always ready to quote a bylaw like it's scripture. Even in a blizzard, she looked untouched, designer boots crunching through the snow like the weather had signed an agreement not to mess with her. She didn't say hello, didn't even fake a smile. She stopped a few feet from me, face tight, eyes sharp, and said, "Victor, I need to borrow your snowblower for the community." Just like that. No please. No explanation. Just an expectation hanging in the cold air between us. You know that split second when you realize you're about to become a story someone else tells over drinks, laughing about how you folded? Yeah, that second landed hard. I killed the engine. The sudden silence made the wind sound louder. I pulled my balaclava down and looked at her, really looked at her, standing there like she owned not just the street but me. "No, Cassandra," I said. "Calm. Flat. No drama." Her mouth tightened, lips thinning into a line so sharp it could have cut ice. "You'll be fined for not complying with community regulations," she snapped, voice dripping with that special kind of authority people get when they've never been told no. And something in me snapped right back. Not yelling, not swearing, just a quiet, solid decision settling in my chest. I was done being pushed around. Here's the thing about Cassandra. She doesn't walk into a space, she occupies it. She fills rooms with herself and expects everyone else to adjust. That day, with her hair perfect and her coat spotless, she looked less like a neighbor and more like a celebrity who'd wandered onto the wrong set. And she leaned into it. "It's for the community," she said, like that phrase alone made her righteous. "We need to come together in times like this." I shook my head. I am helping the community. I'm helping my neighbors. My machine stays with me. That answer did not go over well. "You're not understanding the bigger picture," she huffed. "The bylaws say residents must assist during emergencies. I'll make sure the board hears about your refusal." She turned and walked off like the conversation was already decided, heels crunching, storm parting for her ego. After that, it was open season. Notices started appearing on my door every morning, taped up crooked like threats. First, it was the tracks in my driveway. Apparently, snowblower marks were unsightly. Then it was the snow piles along my yard, as if I'd personally invited winter to host a festival there. Each fine was small, but it wasn't about the money. It was about reminding me who she thought was in charge. I kept doing what I'd been doing, clearing paths for the folks who actually needed it. Mrs. Patterson across the street, barely able to walk, waved from her porch every time I finished. She didn't thank me because a rule book told her to. She thanked me because that's what neighbors do. That, to me, was community. Cassandra's version was just control with a friendly label slapped on it. The irony? Her own SUV sat buried in snow for weeks. No shovel, no effort, just sitting there like a monument to hypocrisy. She never lifted a finger to help anyone, but she had no problem slapping fines on people who did. And the way she looked at me, like I owed her obedience, like she was royalty and I was lucky to live on her land, that stuck with me. I'd read the bylaws front to back. Nowhere did it say I had a hand over my personal property. Nowhere did it give her the power she claimed. But then, right in the middle of all this, the story took a turn I didn't expect. I got a call from Martin Shaw. Quiet guy, HOA board member. The kind who usually sat in the back, nodded, didn't make waves. His voice was tight. Victor, there's something you need to see. Turns out, after my refusal, Martin had started digging into the HOA finances. At first, just out of curiosity, then out of concern. What he found wasn't about Snow at all. Cassandra had been funneling HOA money into fake companies. Landscaping, snow removal, maintenance, invoices for work that never happened. Names like Mountain View Landscaping and Alpine Snow Removal. No addresses, no phone numbers, no crews anyone had ever seen. It was a shell game, and our dues were the prize. The more I looked at those documents, the angrier I got. This wasn't just about power trips and fines. She was stealing from all of us. But I knew better than to rush it. Accusations without proof just make you look bitter. So Martin and I slowed down, collected everything. Bank statements, emails, payment histories. We asked questions quietly. I started talking to neighbors, carefully at first. Most brushed it off. That's just Cassandra. Then I showed them numbers. Missing money. Patterns. Faces changed. People who'd ignored her bullying suddenly leaned in closer. Signatures started piling up. Requests for an audit. Demands for transparency. Cassandra felt it. You could tell. She doubled down, hit me with another fine, this time for improper snow removal. I documented everything. Every notice. Every interaction. We reached out to authorities. Martin uncovered more fake vendors. Once the investigation started, the clock was ticking. Cassandra called a special HOA meeting. Her last stand. She tried to control the room, paint me as the troublemaker. Victor Evans is undermining this community, she said. He refuses to cooperate. I stood up, heart pounding but steady. You've abused your power for personal gain. You try to take my property, but the real theft is right here. And then we laid it all out. Fraudulent invoices, payments to companies that didn't exist, money flowing straight into her accounts. The room went silent. Martin stood next, quiet but firm. I've reviewed the records. Over $60,000 is missing. That was it. Her composure shattered. She shouted, threatened, denied, but no one believed her anymore. The vote was nearly unanimous. She was removed. Even her lawyer leaned in and whispered, "It's time to go." Walking out into the cold after that meeting, it felt like the storm had finally broken. Neighbors thanked me. Some apologized for staying quiet. Deborah, who'd barely spoken in meetings before, smiled and said, "You did what we couldn't." With Cassandra gone, we rebuilt. Not just driveways, but trust. Deborah took over. Financial reports went out monthly. The stolen money went back into the neighborhood. Parks, trees, repairs. The investigation followed Cassandra the rest of the way. Charges, consequences, karma served cold. Looking back, the lesson wasn't about revenge. It was about patience, about not letting anger drive. You don't beat corruption with chaos. You beat it with light, with records, with persistence. Now, when winter comes and I fire up my snowblower, it's not for the HOA. It's for the people, because helping is right. So tell me, where do you draw the line between standing up and being walked over? Have you ever pushed back against power or stayed silent? Share your story. Let's talk about what justice really looks like.